All right, I'd like you to pay very close attention to this very, very important story because of the similarities in a lot of information that you'll be getting from the story as it goes. Now, it starts with a lady who wrote us saying that she had an affair a while ago. Now, we're not very sure if it's a month ago or a couple of years ago or a year ago or weeks ago. Now, she had an affair with the friend of her husband. Now, it so happened that on this fateful day, for whatever reasons, she went to this particular hotel with the husband's friend. And while they were checking into the hotel room, unknown to her, someone in the hotel took a video and took some pictures of her and her husband's friend going into the hotel room. Of course, everything went on. She came out, she went back to her family, to her husband. Well, back to her family basically. She didn't tell us whether if she had kids or not. All right. Now everything has been going on well. According to her, it's been just that one time. They never had a second experience for whatever reasons. Also, now 3 days ago, she was doing something, just going through her husband's phone, and saw a video rather, and some pictures of her and this very friend of her husband, that was sent to the husband's phone. How it got there is still a mystery to her. Or was it? Okay, let me go back here. How it got there was a mystery to her until she inquired further and decided to go into the husband's WhatsApp. Of course, because when you receive a picture message or video message in your WhatsApp, it automatically saves into your gallery. All right. So she went into the phone, her husband's WhatsApp, and went through these various chats, and of course found this particular chat of someone communicating with the husband, saying that I bumped into your wife going into this hotel room with this particular guy, not knowing that that was your husband's friend. Now, who was this very person who was communicating with the husband? Behold, this very person is the wife of the husband's colleague in the office. You see how this whole thing is becoming a very a conflicting twist. Well, that's not the story for today about how they came about communicating and all that. But basically, she's so concerned because when she checked the dates that video was sent to the husband, it was sent 2 weeks minimum. So in other words, it's been sent to the husband's phone for at least 2 weeks. And in that period of 2 weeks, the husband never said a word to her. The friend who she committed the adultery with has been to the house several times, and the husband never confronted the friend who she had this affair with. Never confronted her, never acted any way different from the way he's been all the years of the years in marriage. All right, now she's now very scared for her life. In her own words, she says, "What do I do? I feel like running away because I think he wants to buy me." All right, so those who are Nigerians, you understand what "buy" means. All right, but if you're not Nigerian, "buy" in Nigerian language slang basically means he wants to take her life. So that's her fear basically right now. Do you think she's overreacting? Do you think the husband's silence is suspicious? Do you think that she should just pick up her things and run away, or confront the husband, or inform the friend who she committed adultery with? What is your opinion? Please let us know in the comment section, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Share with Noble, and my name is Valentine Agogo, and I'm on set today with Gray Amona. You're welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
And Mary Manuel. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
All right. So you heard my introductory story,
Yeah.
and I believe your mind's already prepped up on the approach to take. But let me start with you, Mary Manuel. How do you see this story? How the entire twist, both the things she wrote to us and the things she's not saying? How would you approach this a particular issue? especially from the angle where she's now discovered that the husband is aware and she's concerned.
Okay, well, I would say, frankly, that his silence is shrouded in meaning, deep meanings. And I mean, first of all, before we even approach this whole thing and give her solution to it, why did she cheat in the first place? That's one. Then two, why would the man, a typical African man for that matter, oh, I mean, normally a typical African man will feel like, okay, I can cheat, but my wife shouldn't cheat. In fact, the men that I've spoken to in times before will always say, if my wife cheats, I will not forgive her. So why will a man bottle up such a grievous, a very strong offense? For me, it's too much for anybody to bottle up. It is either maybe they don't have children and he has a problem with reproduction. I'm just thinking because
Okay.
I'm wondering. Or he's having a very big plan for both his friend and the wife. So I would say she should come out clean. The husband should be, when he comes back, he should just kneel down, cry, tell him, if possible, bring people around for them to beg, because this particular adultery allowed. That's what I would say.
Okay. Mr. Gray, what's your take on this entire scenario?
It's a pathetic situation, pathetic, because it's about a fundamental law of God, adulterous practice.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, that is the ambience. Then what also makes it more pathetic is, the woman's confused state, and then extending the gradient of sadness, the man's reaction. Adultery, the wife's, mental and emotional confusion, and the African man is usually expressive.
Yeah,
that's one thing about the African man. It is a European thing, bottling up, anger, fire within. Americans are not very good at that. They are more expressive. So when an African man keeps quiet over a development that rubbishes the African worldview, because adultery, where it concerns, yes, I agree with Mary, the moral architecture, related to adultery in African context is actually, unfair, is asymmetric. When the woman misbehaves, you go to Pointer, you go to all the media, but when the man misbehaves, is my right?
It's a norm.
Yes. Sorry to say, but my grandmother's people, the Urobo, they're even more expressive. Like, the Urobo will say, "What can I be?" when you misbehave.
Yeah.
But when he misbehaves, Mayala, fear, he uses all those expressions to let you know that before Igbo came, African states existed and they were paternalistic. Because the thing about African society, it is always paternalistic. That is why our politics is tragically failing and to continue to fail, because the men are genetic dictators. The behavior of our man in the story is a subtle form of dictatorship of the African.
Okay.
Because normally we say, "Come, what happened? Tell me the origin of this assault on the law of God." Because that video footage is an assault. Tell me the origin. He didn't do that. He kept quiet. Off camera, I was talking about the psychology of coup planning in the military. No soldier would disclose to his wife that is going to be part of a coup. It was like in 1990 Gideon coup. The person that was playing draft with Babangida's ADC, he was the first person to fire bullets on a bellow, fatally. That tells you how the African man is, structured to be secretive. Now, but in this very case, because that adulterous practice is a big slight on the man's ego, not only the African man. So these are the possibilities. Is either that he has a deadly plan, which to me is not good. So I buy Mary's idea that the woman should just go up to him and if possible, bring members to the extended family. The extended family is not just the genetic class. Your friends are part of the extended family.
Yes.
So bring her friends. Even a male companion say, please help me beg, my husband. Now, love transcends anything and everything.
Okay.
Not least romantic love. Christians make a kind of a show about agape and romantic. Love is a phenomenon that encompasses both the agape and the romantic. And what is the defining feature of love? The ability to forgive. Understand? In the African context, if the man forgives our adulterous wife, the extended family will poke fun at him. Mumu.
Yeah,
Mumu. You know, the African society has invented that cynical phrase, mumu, to cover all cases of exactly woman rapper. Now I experienced it in my own extended family. There are some cases, where my present wife will now have some issues to the extended family. I'll say, no, don't do this. A woman rapper, you want the waka first before herself. Not since the waka behind the wife. African society has developed so elaborate architecture to protect, male chauvinism. So the woman should hold her for waist. I beg. And then the other friend, I have a word for him, and it's a disgrace to humanity.
Yeah.
How will you harbor romantic plans against your friend's wife? It is un-African, inhuman. Granted that Igbo does a lot of taboo, with marital, the boundaries. No true Igbo say will overlook adultery. So the man is a disgrace to humanity. But I appeal to the man, if the woman solicits pardon, he should. But then, much as also criticize African society for all this chauvinism, our own taboo system also protests us morally. They must do some kind of, they say call it good, kill good.
Yeah, right.
If I can add from what you said now, because I'm still thinking about this whole thing.
Yes.
For he to see that kind of stuff and keep quiet, I'm looking at the friend now. Maybe this man himself have even done that with his friend's wife or relative before. That is why he's not saying anything. He's now then he just want to swallow it up or something. Because these men can be very, very. You know what I'm saying? That's if that okay. Well, let me believe you.
Yeah, because for the man to boldly visit them, after committing the finance act,
For me, it's funny.
Something else is that it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
She gave in to that adultery. All right, we don't have the history of what led to it, but somehow she consented because, according to her, the video showed a romantic exchange between her and the husband's friend before they went into the room. So, while they held each other, or they held hands, or they smiled, or they had some foreplay outside in the open, just having maybe they presented themselves to appear like a couple. You understand? So
and all when the footage.
So it was on the footage. So it's not only an issue for the friend now to bear, right? But something we're not aware of is we also don't know how the relationship between this couple is, and how much he might really, really love the wife. That, like you said something that really struck a nerve.
Yes,
that said that about love being forgiving.
Yes.
Being forgiving.
Yes.
Now we don't know the level of love he must have for this woman to actually act normal, because actually, in my own experience, I don't think a normal human being can just.
I still think so too.
Love has no limitation. That's the truth. He said the level of love. Then, if it's measurable, then it's not love. Because love is supposed to be immeasurable.
Okay, if it's measurable.
If it's measurable, then it's not love.
I'm sorry, I think we have measurable love these days. That's why I feel like
do you know why you have measurable love these days? Both world society and Nigerian society, particularly Nigerian society is spiritually under siege, self-inflicted siege.
Oh, wow.
We are going through one of the worst times of our collective corporate existence as a society. So that is why, of course, yes, Nigerian romantic climate, love climate is already invaded by many cases of mass insanity. Yahoo is there, the progressive commoditization of the human status is there. You know, man is a commodity now in the Nigerian social crime. So how do you expect love to be measurable? That's the problem.
Well. I think that's as much as we can take for this episode. My panelists here, they've actually done justice to this story. And from what I could deduce from what they said, you should be smart, all right, to do the right thing. You've already made a mistake, so you can't just keep quiet and run. First, you need to find out what he knows and how he feels, all right? You need to find out what he knows and how he feels. Some of the information he might have might not be in that WhatsApp message, or of course, not just the video footage now. It might not be in that WhatsApp message. You need to find out what he knows and how he feels. And of course, look for how to make amends. If he really loves you and he is truly forgiving you, I don't think you should start building a mountain out of a molehill. But if you're really feeling very, very unsafe, you could, like my panelists have also advised, you could take your leave and get help from outside and come back and look for how to resolve the problem you created with your own hands with his friend, which is very unpleasant, as a matter of fact. All right, but it's also we really depend on you out there to drop your comments and tell us what you think about this story, how you think she should best approach this issue. Should she run for her life, or she should face the problem head on and come out a victor at the end of the day, or whatever your counsel is from personal experience or from experience of loved ones or someone close to you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click on the notification button for similar prompt updates on Share with Noble. My name is Valentine Agogo.